Picture this. It's your first time at summer camp. You're likely looking forward to all the activities it has to offer, such as s'mores, swimming, and zip lining. You're also likely nervous to be away from your parents for an entire week. Now, imagine what these feelings would be like if you also had autism. You and your parents would likely be more nervous due to sensory needs. Kids with autism don't need to worry nearly as much about their needs not being met at Operation Shine Camp, a camp specifically for kids with autism and related disabilities. The camp runs completely off of volunteers. Someday, you may have a kid with autism that really wants to go to Operation Shine Camp, and gaining experience at the camp may help you feel more comfortable with sending your kid. Volunteering for Operation Shine Camp makes the experience of the campers much better and shows you what some kids with autism live like. First, we will look at the growing need for volunteers at the camp. Next, we will discuss the various ways that you can volunteer. Then, we will examine how each position impacts both the kids and the volunteers, and finally, we will see how you can get involved with Operation Shine Camp. First, let's look at the growing need for volunteers at the camp. The camp accepts more and more kids each year, which increases the amount of volunteers needed. According to the Kids and Dreams Foundation website, which is the foundation that puts on the camp, these camps were created to give children with autism and related disabilities opportunities to attend a summer camp. These weekends include a multitude of summer camp activities, such as rock climbing, fishing, and archery. They also include a variety of sensory experiences to accommodate any camper's sensory needs. Each camper with autism is called a little camper, and their individual volunteers are called big campers. These camps require so many volunteers to ensure that they run smoothly. As said by Executive Director of the Kids and Dreams Foundation, Aaron Bly, in an article published by 1011 Now in July of 2025, the camp took about 50 kids per camp across 3 camps this summer, totaling 150 kids this summer. For each camper, there are roughly 3 to 4 volunteers. This makes a total of over 150 volunteers per camp. Now that we have looked at the growing need for volunteers at the camp, let's discuss the various ways that you can volunteer. Regardless of your level of experience with kids with autism, you can volunteer in many ways. The most obvious way is to be a big camper, meaning you engage in the camp activities with the camper and accompany them at all times. Having been a big camper at one camp myself, I know firsthand how challenging yet rewarding it can be. Whether you're running around with your camper or making friendship bracelets the whole time, you make sure your camper has a great time. According to Nebraska Public Media in an article published in 2022, there are a few more teams that work behind the scenes: hospitality, activities, photography, and nurses. The hospitality team hands out snacks all day, takes care of laundry when necessary, and helps with setting certain things up. The activities team, which I've been on 4 times now and have decided is my favorite, ensures each camper gets to make crafts, play yard games, and so much more. My mom was part of the photography team last year and really enjoyed it because she got to meet all of the campers and she loves taking pictures. According to the Kids and Dreams Foundation website and a page about volunteering, there are about 2 to 3 nurses per camp that hand out medicine and take care of emergency medical needs. Now that we have discussed the various ways that you can volunteer, let's examine how each position impacts both the camper and the volunteer. Regardless of which position you choose, you will help the campers in a number of ways. Volunteers are what makes sure the camp runs smoothly. Whether you are a big camper or work behind the scenes on one of the teams, your work will help the kids have a great experience. Every big camper makes sure their little camper has close friends for the duration of the camp. Being on the activities team or the hospitality team ensures that each camper gets snacks, games, crafts, and much more. Volunteering not only benefits the campers, but also benefits the volunteers. I really enjoyed my time at all 5 of the camps I volunteered at. They really open your eyes to what a kid with autism might be going through. I asked my friend Everett Gleason, who has volunteered as a big camper 2 times, what his favorite parts were. He said he loved being paired with a kid the whole time because he got to see how much he helped them get an experience they wouldn't normally get. He also liked being paired with another volunteer because it was cool to see how fast they started working together to help the kids. Now that we have examined how each position impacts both the kids and the volunteers, let's see how you can get involved with Operation Shine Camp. You can find more information at the Kids and Dreams Foundation website under the Operation Shine Camp tab. These camps occur at the end of May, middle of June, and end of June, so there are plenty of opportunities to volunteer. If you don't think you'd be ready to handle an entire weekend, the camp in May is only one day, so it's a great way to get an idea of how the camp works. Today, I hope I convince you to volunteer for Operation Shine Camp by showing you how volunteering for Operation Shine Camp makes the experience of the campers much better and shows you how some kids with autism live. First, we looked at the growing need for volunteers at the camp. Next, we discussed the various ways which you can volunteer. Then, we examined how each position impacts both the kids and the volunteers, and finally, we saw how you can get involved with Operation Shine Camp. When you volunteer, you impact the children's lives in ways that we will never truly understand. These kids leave the camp so much happier than when they arrived. I truly hope that you can become one of these people that is willing to help these kids in any way that they can. Thank you.